Welcome back to Be Super University. Today we are talking about the utility characteristic within the driving forces, and this is our final continuum of the driving forces. So there's 12 driving forces, two per characteristic. So in this case, selfless and resourceful for the utility characteristic, and these are our final two of the 12 that we're going to be talking about today. So with utility, this is how an individual values practicality, usefulness, and gaining a return on all investments of time, talent, and resources. And as we look at this, on one side we have selfless. These are people who are more concerned about the completion of the task and not so concerned about the return on investment. And on the resourceful side, these are people who are passionate about getting that return on investment and practical results. So let's go ahead and talk about first the selfless side. Some initial characteristics for this factor is that they love accomplishing tasks. So they like a to-do list and they like being able to check those boxes on that to-do list. And time doesn't really matter. As long as they can check that box, they get satisfied inside. They also enjoy their contribution to the team or to the project. They don't really care so much about the energy or money or time, but they care about what they're able to contribute. And then they also value people not only for what they can provide, but for who they are. So these people really value the person who's involved and connecting with people, and they don't care so much about the time or their skill set that's involved there. As far as overextension, so if this person could get a little out of control, potentially there could be some wasted resources, and their mindset to complete a task could supersede everything else. So depending on your company, depending on the team, this could become definitely something that's frustrating or annoying for people if you need that return on investment, if that's the main goal of whatever you're working on. So keep that in mind with these individuals. And also, if you find yourself with these types of individuals and you do find yourself with being annoyed or frustrated with them, let's start to work towards figuring out a way to be a little bit more appreciative of them and what's different within them than yourself, because both sides of these have their own strengths. They also have their limitations, and in what we just talked about, these overextensions, these are definitely limitations for this, but there are a lot of strengths here as well. Things that can cause these individuals stress is when they see that people are being viewed as just a resource and not of the person that they are, as well as when they're forced to focus on the end result and quality isn't part of the conversation. So there's just the strong focus on getting to that final result. That can definitely cause these people a lot of stress. When it comes to communicating with them, so if you're a leader or if this is your team, somebody on your team, then helping them emphasizing the importance of quality and process with these individuals is definitely going to really connect with them, because they want to use the time needed to really create a quality product or service. They want the time to really get the right process put together. And then if you can help them understand how their participation in the project will impact on the impact that will have on the greater good. These are the people who just want to keep things moving forward. They don't care about what they're gaining out of it. They just want to keep it moving forward and keeping it moving in a positive direction. And then being able to refer to people for who they are and not what they can provide. So not caring so much in your conversation about the skill set of an individual, but just talking about an individual for who they are is really going to connect well with an individual that has the selfless driver. When it comes to motivating them and gaining that satisfaction and engagement from them, putting them in a place in a job role that allows them to complete those tasks. Once again, they like the checklist, they like the to-do list and being able to check a box. And so if there's a job out there that you just have this list of things to do and maybe time isn't as important as just getting it done, these are going to be your ideal people because they will love doing that work day in and day out. Also, if you have a project where they can have unlimited resources, so time, energy, money, once again, isn't as important as what the product or service is that comes out of it, these people are really going to thrive there because they don't have to worry about the time crunch or not having enough resource to complete the project. And then any opportunity these people can have to work towards that greater good, just once again move things forward, they're going to be energized and motivated. On the other side, when we look at resourceful, once again, these are the people that are passionate about getting that return on investment. So return on investment, they like the time, money, energy, and they like to see that there's a greater return for them. They also are focused on the efficiency and results of whatever they're working on. And they have that enterprising nature because they're very resourceful. They want to making sure that they're getting the right amount of money for what's getting put into it. And so an overextension for these individuals that have this driver is, in some cases, they might only be willing to give if there is an opportunity for return on investment. If there's nothing that's going to come back to them, they might put their hands up and say, I'm not going to help you. These people can also find themselves being workaholics because they're so driven by that return. And so by working more, depending on what their field they're in, there could be more return that comes from extra work. And so they become workaholics. They don't care so much about anything else because they just want to continue to have that return on investment. And then the other overextension here is that return on investment could supersede their purpose or logic in whatever they're doing. So it will go over the mission of what really matters and what was important to begin with. The things that are really going to cause these people stress is when there's wasted resources, when they're working towards a cause and there's no kind of personal return, and when they notice that there's an unbalanced return or unbalanced reward to return ratio. So what they're putting in isn't bringing back the right amount of reward for them. In your communication with them, if you're their leader or you're on the same team as them, anytime you can focus on the return on investment that will come from whatever you're talking about, they're definitely going to be bought in there. Anytime you can demonstrate efficiency with them or show them how demonstrating efficiency is gonna really matter, is gonna really help them. And then anytime you can show them how making something bigger, faster, better to increase value, they're going to buy into that as well because they want that bigger, greater thing that's going to bring back more ROI. As far as energizing these people and keeping them satisfied and engaged, when they have opportunities for rewards that are based on the effort and practicality that are put into it. So if they know that they're going to be getting a reward for their effort that they put into it, it's not going to be necessarily maybe distributed equally. They're going to give it their all because they want that greater return for themselves. Also, if there's creative ways that they can increase the return on investment. So if they're allowed to come up with all these different ways that will bring back more in the end, then they're going to be driven to really think through all these different ways to help. And then they're always working towards the financial flexibility. So if something's going to provide that flexibility for them, then definitely they're going to be engaged there and they're going to be working towards it. And it could get them into trouble. It could become a workaholic. But those are the things that are really going to move them forward and get them continuing to be energized. So did you see yourself here today? Where did you fall on this continuum? Are you a selfless or are you a resourceful driver? Myself, you can see over here by my top 4 driving forces, I'm neither. These are more in my middle section of my driving forces. But I'm interested to know where you land. Where are one of these more important to you than the other? And if so, how is it currently playing out for you? Everybody, this plays out a little bit different, because not only driving forces are, once again, are why we do the things we do, but we have our disc that is how we do things. So everybody is a little bit unique in the way that these play out, and I'm interested to know a little bit more about you and how this plays out for you. So if you want to work with me, my name is Jake Newman. I am an expert in behaviors and motivators, and I want to help you, your team, your company have higher performance, more effective communication, build stronger relationships, and have a greater team culture amongst yourselves. So let's talk. My email is down below. Let's have a 30-minute consultation, a free consultation, and let's find out how we can work together and where I can come and help your team grow. And don't forget, care to share and be somebody's hero.